So we know that you don't have voting rights here. Does that really influence your involvement in politics in Canada?
Absolutely not. Like my involvement with that too is coming from the first-hand basis, is because I enjoy politics. Politics is one of my hobbies, I would say. I like to read about politics. I like to know what's going on, but that does not change my involvement because in the end, I am here residing in Canada. So any government that is coming up to, even though I don't have any voting rights, I don't have anything to say about it, I still have to appreciate because eventually down the line, I may be looking long term. I may be looking that, hey, I might be staying here in Canada for the rest of my life. So I want to learn how the government bodies work. I want to learn how like the government works here. I want to learn like how what they are promising for the next 10 years. So even though I may not be involved physically, but I want to make sure that I'm up to date with what's happening with the Canadian politics.
Okay. What do you think about the country and how it has been governed in the past years?
So especially like for someone who was not born into the government, I could see the difference like the current government has made. Ever since I've come in Canada, they've made a major changes, especially in Ottawa. In Ottawa, they made a major change for transportation. Like when I came in 2017, the transportation throughout Ottawa was not that convenient. It took more than 30 minutes to reach somewhere where you can reach in 15. But eventually, especially this year, they have integrated a new line and new subway stops here in Canada, and that's pretty great, I would say. And they've made a major moves that, first of all, legalizing weed. That was one of the first promises that Trudeau made, and he stuck to it. So that was pretty good. That's one thing I would say. But when it comes to changes, I would say that that is just something that I have to adapt with because as I said, that I don't have any say in anything that the government makes or because I don't have any voting rights. But if there's anything I would like to change is just like how international students are sometimes be overpaying their tuition fees. And that is something I would like the government to be changed. But I also feel that if you read between the lines, that is not their number one priority, which makes sense.
So how do you think that voice of an international student should be heard during this political campaign?
Especially like they should be. For example, recently at Carleton University, they had a debate where the mayor attended as well. So a lot of students across Ontario and even Quebec, they came in to participate to reach out their political views. And there were a lot of international students, and they said that how international student voice does matter in a way because there are a lot of immigrants eventually in Canada, right?
Mhm.
So one of the main things that I would say that art, what we say may not affect the government, but what they should consider what we feel as well. They should consider the importance of international students in Canada.
Okay,
That's
that's amazing. And I only have one more question for you. Do you think that the
absolutely.
media coverage in Canada has affected your perspective on the politics in Canada?
Absolutely. Like media coverage has affected because that is one of the major source of information anyone could get at this point, especially for the younger generation. They don't really lean towards pamphlets or information on newspapers or news. They really go to media, even social medias. There's a lot of influence. All the political leaders at this point are so active on social medias, just making sure all the younger generations are more involved with the politics because they know that it is their votes that matter as well. And in Ottawa, especially, there are three major colleges and universities, Carleton, U Ottawa, and Algonquin. So they are also making sure this year that they're coming to university, they're talking to all the students, they're making sure that they either vote or just have an opinion of who to choose. So definitely, I would say media has a great influence, especially the small media. I would say, like for example, in my university, we have our own newspaper and our own radio channel. So I would say for the past 2 weeks, that's all they've been talking about. Politics have been a hot topic, and they want to know the students' opinions. They want to know what students feel about the upcoming government.
Okay, that's amazing. Thank you so much, Kartikey. This is Ria's Sketline.